In this story, I escaped some flames. I'm Joanne Green. It was 1979 in San Francisco, and I was flying high as a news anchor at the legendary FM radio station KSAN, affectionately called KSAN. I was in love with Fred Green, morning show producer and part-time jock, and my career was the envy of aspiring radio journalists. Metro Media, KSAN's parent company, had brought in a new general manager from Los Angeles to right the ship. He'd successfully turned big profits at KMET in Los Angeles, and the suits in New York thought his approach would work in San Francisco. However, then, as now, LA and San Francisco are very different beasts. It took one, maybe two, officious memos from the new GM for the staff to start revolting, some more dramatically than others. On one particular day, Tom O'Hare, longtime San Francisco air personality, had taken a tab or two of acid. He and my news partner, Chris Stanley, were on a tear about the new GM, whom they'd renamed from L. David Moorhead to L. Nuclear Warhead. Taking their loud protestation outside the station, they quickly found themselves pounding shots at the Financial Corner, the bar on the next block. The combination of LSD and alcohol wasn't new to O'Hare, but I was concerned that the results would be unpredictable at best, particularly since I was to anchor the news in his afternoon air shift.
10 minutes before 3 o'clock, Tom O'Hare from KSAN. We had the Ramones and Baby I Love You, along with Miracles from Starship's Red Octopus album, from the brand new Bob Seger, and called Against the Wind. Great Seger sounds on the Jive 95.
They returned from the bar at 2:55, and Tom went directly into the studio to cue up his first record. As I walked into the studio to deliver the 3 p.m. newscast, I saw something different in O'Hare's eyes. He'd often displayed a mischievous glint, but this was something else. Something maniacal, diabolical. Oh no, what's he going to do? I held my breath and my stack of papers. Would he turn on my microphone and let me do the newscast? Would I be able to do my job and leave the studio without incident? Instead, as the song was ending and I was gathering my stack of notes and miscellaneous wire copy from which I would tell rather than read the news, as was our signature KSAN style, O'Hare grabbed my papers, flipped a Bic lighter, which he pulled out of nowhere, it seemed, and set my news copy on fire. Oh my God. I was holding a torch. News flambe. My eyes doubled in size as my jaw dropped in shock. In a nanosecond, I started blowing, and by some stroke of luck, I apparently had enough air in my lungs to turn my news copy into charred ashes just as the record ended. Tom opened my microphone and walked out of the studio chuckling. Somehow, somewhere, I found my voice. It's 3 o'clock and this is KSAN, San Francisco, I heard myself say. And then I went on to ad-lib a newscast. It wasn't pretty, but I made it out of the studio 5 minutes later with a shred of dignity, a healthy dose of anger, and the knowledge that, like my ancestors fleeing persecution in Europe, I was a survivor. If you enjoy the memoir-style micro-essays that I read on In This Story, please consider checking out my full-length book entitled By Accident, A Memoir of Letting Go. It's now available for sale on Amazon and Audible as a paperback, audiobook, or ebook. You can also order a copy through your favorite independent bookseller, which could use your support. Speaking of which, thanks so much for your support. Again, the title is By Accident, A Memoir of Letting Go, by yours truly, Joanne Green.